No one puts a thing on my diviner.
Welcome to round 30 of Eat the Buckle, the horror movie battle royale podcast that puts two movies in a weekly head-to-head matchup where the loser will remain in the ring another week and will be forced to watch it repeatedly until there is one movie left standing in an effort to determine the worst horror movie ever made. This week's matchup is 1990's Sorority House Massacre versus 1988's Sorority Babes in the Slimeball Bolorama for the second time. With me, as always, are my two co-hosts who once did a strip tease for Jim Kaminsky. Gross. It's Josh and Aaron. Fellas, uh, before I get to you,
Who's Jim Kaminsky?
I don't know. I wrote that joke from I always take these from something that someone says in the movies, some sort of reference.
I
But
also have Jim Kaminsky written down.
I'm glad because before you got on, Josh, when me and Aaron were just bullshitting, it's been so long since we record. I watched this like the day after our last record, and I don't remember any. I'm looking at that joke, and I'm like, that means nothing to me, but I know I wrote it down because I thought it would be funny. And now I'm just looking through my notes from this movie. I'm like, I don't. I don't. You're gonna have to hold my hand through this, guy.
The lovely ladies of this movie love to talk about the men that they're dating by saying their full names, proper names, and Jim Kaminsky is one of those gentlemen. You never meet him, but you know that the ladies dig him. So no, I'm sorry, they feel like he's ugly.
Yeah, because I wrote gross. So you two have also done a strip tease for Jim Kaminsky.
Was it in the male locker room? Because that's where Kimberly did her striptease for Jim Kaminsky.
I'm so glad you know these details.
Oh wait,
I'm blind on this one, man.
Were we supposed to watch Sorority House Massacre?
Yeah,
two, because you didn't say two in the warm up.
Sorry,
and I just watched it last night, and nothing is ringing a bell.
This will be fun.
I just watched it, so it's still sizzling in my head. Let's go, boys.
And I just watched it last night. Now, of course, this was at around midnight, and it was a Saturday night, and I may or may not be able to read my own handwriting by the time that the end of the movie was happening, and I had some notes.
You want to talk about Jim Kaminsky? Why don't we talk about Kenny Gardner?
Hold on. Whoa. Let's not, before we go dragging these fellas' names through the mud. We gotta give a little runway here.
Oh, sorry, I got really excited. Okay.
I mean, we can. I don't give a shit.
So, you're talking about striptease. I'm talking about zero sugar peach teas, and it's got me a little randy, I guess.
How you guys been? Haven't done one of these in a while. I mean, I know, but for the people listening, how's it going out there in Eat the Buckle land?
It's fine.
Have you, Aaron, were you able to see Sinners yet?
I have picked up the keys and almost put my shoes on 3 times this week to leave the house. And I decided just to stay home every single time.
Hey, why don't we go see it next weekend?
Well, I was getting ready to say I would probably will go to the senior matinee on Tuesday. Maybe Monday. Even today, I asked Katie, I was like, do you want to go to the movies? Because we had a whole loop that we were going to do. We were going to get groceries, we were going to get stuff for the house because it's spring, so time to spend money at home improvement. Then we're going to go to get groceries after that, after going to the theater. Anyway, we didn't do that. So we're sitting here without groceries, without an improved home, and without having seen Sinners.
I'm in the same boat. Erica and I made plans 3 different times last week to watch it. None of them happened. I may go see it after we're done with this. There's a 3:00 and it's really shitty out. So it seems like a perfect time to go see it. It looks fucking awesome. I hope it's not overhyped. I don't want it to be like Long Legs or something because everyone's saying it's got like a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes, so did Long Legs. It's got, which I know you guys like, but
well, let me give you some advice, Jared. stop reading the hype because that's what you do, and then every time you do it, you walk out of a movie saying it's disappointing.
Well, if
Yep.
it's bad,
Go figure.
if the hype's up for a
I
bad
wonder
movie.
what you think about a movie if you didn't let the internet overhype it for you before you saw it. I wonder if you might like it a little bit.
No.
Uh,
We'll see. I mean, it would have to really be something special to
I
overcome this.
I
But
didn't read anything about Longlegs or the monkey, and
Yeah.
liked one and loved one.
well, I
I will own both of those movies.
I haven't read anything about the movie itself, just the, seeing the scores on like Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes. And so I don't know. I don't even know what it's about,
I I know what it's
but it looks
about,
cool as fuck.
and I
I've
saw
seen
somewhere that
trailers
there
and
was
that's it.
a soundtrack like listing. So I
Mm.
was like, oh, I liked Muddy Waters and Robert Johnson and way back everybody else from like early blues. So let's look at this. And I saw some names that I wasn't expecting from I don't want to spoil anything, so I don't want to really talk in depth about it, but we'll just say grunge acts. And I
Oh,
don't know if that
uh-oh.
meant
Is that a Judgment Night situation?
that I don't know that like
Like
the
Pearl Jam mashed
demons.
up with
RZA.
Yeah. I don't
or
know if the vampires invent grunge. That's all I can say.
it's like a Stone Temple Pilots slash Leadbetter, yeah, Lead Belly, whatever his name. Is it Lead Belly?
There was a lead
Yeah, a
belly. Yeah.
mashup between like 20s bluesman and
That would actually be
20,000.
cool if it was done right, I think.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
something.
Well, and like I said, there was like 50 things on this list, and I was like, well, number one, there's no way this is the actual official soundtrack.
Right.
So I'm guessing it's just inspired by, and
Mm,
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But I withhold judgment until I actually see the movie to be like, oh, why are they playing fill in the blank here? That's
yeah.
weird, like incongruent with the time period.
Well, hopefully by next time we record, all three of us will have watched it so we can have a little recap on it. Not like, because I think I tried to kind of cover this in my little solo thing, but like we just logistically can't do movies that are in theaters because if it's something as shitty as Woman in the Yard, that means we'd have to go, which I think
Back
probably
to the movie.
I think Woman in the Yard probably would have lost to either of these movies today, guys. That's how bad it is.
Which
So
is
we
sad.
would,
6 weeks in a row to watch
yeah,
it,
yeah.
and then have to podcast through the
Yeah.
sixth time.
So like I logistically don't think we could ever pick something that's in the theaters, but we could at least intelligently talk about, for like 5 minutes about something that's going to be as big in the zeitgeist as Sinners is right now.
Well, I was gonna go see that movie last week when it was again still in the theater and cheap, and I saw that it was PG-13, and usually don't. Actually, no, I usually do say if a horror movie is not rated R, I don't really want to see it.
I don't even
Man,
think
I don't
it's
know. What did you guys see in the trailer that made you even want to see it? I saw the trailer once and I was like, that looks fucking stupid.
it was literally I didn't want to see it. We were literally just laying around and it was like a rainy, shitty day and we were just because we were actually going to go see Sinners, but like Erica wasn't feeling great. So we were like, well, we were going to spend money to go to the movies anyway. Why not just watch something that's in the theaters on our couch
Yeah.
that looked
It's-
like it could have been a little spooky, but
Even
I
from the trailer, it sounded like a M. Night Shyamalan movie. It's just like, oh boy, here we go.
You rented this at home for like 20 some bucks?
yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
want that fucking money. I'm going to personally drive to Blum's house and slap him in the face.
Did you
and
get it
my
off
20 bucks.
Amazon?
Probably, yeah.
If Bezos likes you, he'll give you a refund. He
I-
will. Remember, I got a refund before.
I do. For Midsummer, you fucking loser. These-
That movie
but
just looked
Listen.
like a giant overextended Twilight Zone episode.
it's not even that. I'm not gonna say like it's nothing even that cool. And I promise you, it's only rated PG-13 because of the themes of it. It's not. I don't even think there was cursing. There's no blood. It's not. It's as tame as a Twilight Zone episode as far as content. But
Yeah.
like I cannot even fathom why it was PG-13. It was fucking bad. It was like Goosebumps.
Well, it gets back to the whole crux of what are you going to the theater for? And a movie like that where I can tell I'm not 100% going to love it already just from the trailer, to Josh's point. And that it looked just like an overextended Twilight Zone episode. I was like, I can wait for that for streaming.
Yeah. Well, get
Sinners
ready,
that
guys.
I've wanted to watch for 2 weeks now. I just have not gone to the movie theater.
I have a
Yeah.
feeling we're going to be seeing a lot more garbage like that because everything's going to be written by AI moving forward, and AI can't do scary. And there's a lot of things AI can't. If you ever try to get AI to write you a story and then read how fucking lame and just like vanilla it comes out, because it has all these perimeters that it can't do, like, anything taboo, and it can't do anything like violent. So like when all this shit is going to start being written by AI, that's what we had to look forward to, as a world full of ladies in yards.
The Woman in the Neighbor's Yard will be the sequel.
Right.
I'm glad you brought that up because I've been meaning to talk about that. Have you guys seen the commercials with Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey
Yes.
for
yes.
what is it?
Workforce.
Workforce, whatever, like where they're promoting AI.
Mm-hmm.
Weren't you fuckers just on strike for like nearly a year, bringing the industry to its knees, rightfully so, about not having AI take your jobs or writers' jobs, and now you're fucking promoting it?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Because they dangled a big old carrot in front of Woody Harrelson's nose. And he said that could buy me more acreage for my marijuana farms.
Yeah.
I guess I.
And his buddy McConaughey said, all right, all right, all right. And off they went.
I'll take it. Old McConaughey needs to buy another Lincoln.
I think I'd like my voice a lot more if I had a whistle to it.
McConaughey's got some scars on his face. I'm just going to do the rest of the episode like this.
I think we'd probably get a lot more listeners if we all talk like McConaughey.
Just do McConaughey True Detective whistle ASMR.
Yep. Yeah. Is this going to go over well with the listeners?
What did you think of Sorority Babes?
My mouth's a little too dry. I got to take a swig of water. Oh, God.
All right.
I missed this.
Can't delay any longer.
Should we get into... Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, can we not talk about movies?
Oh, you're not chomping at the bit to talk about Jim Kaminsky? Jim Kaminsky and what was the other guy's name? Chad Groverfield.
It was let me pull up my notes here. Kenny Gardner.
Kenny Gardner. Well, let's get into Kenny Gardner and Jim Kaminsky.
All right.
Both football players in the 70s?
Probably. It's probably all the imagination that went into this script.
The three people that wrote the script.
All right, so our first movie is Sorority House Massacre II. Released to video, straight to video, October 5th, 1990. Couldn't believe this was a 90s movie. No budget or box office that I could find. Written by J.B. Rogers, Bob Sheridan, and Mark Thomas McGee. Directed by Jim Wynorski. We got it right this time. Starring Gail Thackeray, Melissa Moore. I didn't write her last name. Kimberly something. Let's get that right.
Zavago.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she plays Stacy Zavago. Played Kimberly. Tells you where I was when I wrote these notes. Barbie, Dana Bentley, and Peter Spellos as Orville Ketchum. Now, normally I just give like a little elevator pitch about a little summary about what the movie's about, but I want to quote this from Wikipedia because it's the most, I can't wrap my head around it. Sorority House Massacre II. This is, follow me here. It is a loose sequel to both Sorority House Massacre.
You gave away a talking point.
Yeah.
As well as Slumber Party Massacre. No, this will help us get it. This will lead right into it.
I broke the flowchart out again because of
Well,
this movie.
Yeah, this it needs it. So it's a loose sequel to two different movies, Sorority House Massacre and Slumber Party Massacre, from which it recycles some footage. It was followed by Sorority House Massacre 3, Hard to Die, which is a remake based on the same script as the second film. What the fuck? I,
The
I want to
Corman
read that
way.
again. I want
The
to read
Corman
this one
way.
more time. Just without just get a hold of this. It is a loose sequel to Sorority House Massacre as well as Slumber Party Massacre, from which it recycles some footage. It was followed
Yes.
by Sorority House Massacre 3, which was a remake based on the same script as the second film. Gentlemen, let's get into this fucking thing.
Listen, my brain almost melted while watching this today when they first introduce Orville Ketchum and he's talking to the ladies about the history of the house, and it starts showing clips from Slumber Party Massacre 1, the
Mhm.
driller killer, and I'm like, wait a minute. Do I have the wrong fucking movie? And, like,
We all
I s-
did.
I started melting. Like my brain could not take it. So I had to start Googling it. I like on the fly, and I'm like, oh my God, there's a whole massacre. There's a Roger Corman massacre verse out there that includes the Slumber Party Massacre trilogy, the
Right, which is
Sorority
the
House
driller killer.
Massacre trilogy,
Mm-hmm.
and Cheerleader Massacre trilogy, which I've never seen.
Yet.
Yes.
Did you do the
That
background?
blew my fucking mind.
Well, and sorry, Aaron. Well, but
I was gonna
real
say,
quick, like,
did you do any of the background where there's interviews with Jim Wynorski about how they all connect?
No, I didn't
no.
want to
Like-
spoil
like-
any of it because I want to discover this on my own.
There were people trying to do mental gymnastics to connect all of these somehow, because like Taffy is in Slumber Party Massacre, which we talked about last time.
Yeah.
And all this, there's characters playing different characters in different movies, and then start doing the same character again, like in Cheerleader Massacre. So a lot of horror connoisseurs are out there trying to connect all these disconnected movies. And then there was this interview on Retro Slashers from 2007 where they asked Wynorski about it, and he was just like, basically, I'm paraphrasing here, but he breaks it down as whatever makes sense to you. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
well, and to make it even more confusing is Slumber Party Massacre, which is the
Driller.
we'll just call it the driller killer,
Yeah.
has its own franchise, its own sequel,
Yeah.
like a
Yep.
direct actual sequel to which
Yeah.
this movie is saying it is a sequel to, and
Yeah.
showed parts of the first and has no other connective tissue whatsoever to it.
It's the multiverse of madness.
And
the
the
massacre
lady,
verse of madness.
the lady who plays Babs was in the original Slumber Party Massacre.
Yeah, and that's also Taffy, I think.
Taffy was in 2, I think.
Okay. Let me
Now, my
look at my
question-
notes that I made.
I have to go. There's a scene in this one where the detective goes to the strip club, and I gotta know because he says like they're there to talk to one of the survivors of the first massacre, and I gotta know if that actress is the same actress from Slumber
not.
Party. Oh,
It's not even the same character's name.
they just brought in a new
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, because I remember looking that up as I was watching it to try to get a grasp on this.
All right, so Brinky Stevens was Taffy, was in the original. Well, played Linda in Driller Killer, Slumber Party Massacre.
Okay, so her and Babs both were in the first one.
Yeah, which again, you can't say Driller Killer because there is a movie called Driller Killer.
Yeah.
But the whole reason why he did the same movie twice, and I don't know if you guys read this, is that he got the okay to use Roger Corman's sets from his wife at the time, Linda.
Mm-hmm.
So he made a movie behind Corman's back while him and his wife were in Europe. He got back and he had the thing in the can because it took him, let's see on the math, it took him 4 days to write, 2 days to cast, and 7 days to shoot, and it shows. And so Corman, when he saw the movie, was like, "That's good. Now I want you to do a movie for me." So he got all the same people and used all the same script, and then just threw more Orville Ketchum in it and said, All right, that's Sorority House Massacre 3.
Colon,
Hard to Die.
hard to die.
Yes.
Which is that's just I just got. I thought for a second we were talking
Listen.
about Slimeball Bolorama, which we're not.
No.
It also has some connective tissue.
Hold up. There is also
Because that's that's who I was saying Babs was from but Babs is in
yes.
Slumber Party, so forgive me. Babs is in Slumber Party Bolorama. Slimeball Bolorama.
Don't you put Sorority Babes and Slimeball Bolorama anywhere near this golden treasure?
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Here's another one for you.
I've melted. I don't understand any of this.
I remember from our youth watching Sorority House Massacre 3: hard to die, and during the end credits, it actually says Orville will be back in Orville in space.
Yes.
So there was a fourth part we never got.
Well, and in that one interview I was mentioning from Retro Slashers, Wynorski does say sooner or later I'm going to get around to making Orville in orbit.
Well, Peter Sellos is dead, so good luck with that.
Yeah, so it's not going to happen.
Well, that's like they give Orville Ketchum this like hero's treatment. He's some fucking like legacy horror character that should be.
He's amazing.
In the credits, it says Orville Ketchum as himself.
Yep. Yeah.
As if he's been in, like as if he's Ash Williams from the Evil Dead series. Like I don't understand any of this.
He is the hero that the incel army of the internet never knew they needed.
I don't know. I think Orville Ketchum is universal. I don't want to just throw him to the incels. Did you check who the transportation coordinator was in the credits?
Sure didn't.
The Santa Monica Municipal Bus Line.
Wow.
They took the bus.
That's why you have to watch the credits in a Wynorski film.
Fantastic.
Because he'll throw those little lines in like it's Naked Gun or Top Secret.
Yeah.
And that was the best one. The Santa Monica Bus Line.
I do remember it said like no sorority girls were harmed or something
in
like
the
that.
making of this.
Yeah.
Man.
Let's break it down. So this the actual plot of this movie is that a group of sorority girls are buying their own sorority house.
I didn't know that's how it worked.
Yeah, I've never been a frat in a fraternity.
Guys, let's start a fraternity. I want to buy a house.
Yeah, because you know how college kids just have
declare myself a fraternity.
Money to put down on a. Oh my God. Anyway, so they buy this house, which is the same house that isn't the same house from the first movie that has nothing to do with this movie, but it's haunted by ghosts from the first movie that
are renamed for the purposes of this movie.
Yeah. They summon them through a Ouija board, and then the one gal gets possessed and
this movie
again, this is from 2.5 weeks of not seeing it. So if you guys want to give a better or
no, you're doing fine.
Okay, great.
Fine. But I would call it, instead of Sorority House, it should be called Substitute Teacher Massacre 2. Every one of these ladies, for quote unquote playing a co-ed, looks like a substitute teacher.
The PTA House Massacre.
Though I bought them more than I bought the ladies of the Slimeball Bolorama as sorority girls.
Yeah, because Babs straight up looks like someone's stepmom.
Yeah, Babs has enough bronzer on to.
I was gonna save this for when we talk about Bolorama, but I was gonna say some things about Babs, but then she had a real dark story. I don't want to talk too bad about Babs.
Okay.
But for this movie, which is not Slimeball Bolorama, which has nothing to do with the other thriller killer movies. So yeah, at one point the neighbor, who was the aforementioned Orville Ketchum, just like lets himself in through the sliding door and just starts acting all creepy. They don't seem to, freaked out by this at first.
He reaches down the front of his pants to retrieve a key that somehow he has, but the
doesn't
person
just
who they bought the house from didn't.
if I remember correctly, he doesn't just reach to, he's like fishing around in there
Yeah, he reaches down
for
up
a
in
bit.
there.
He goes real deep into his step-ins to
What is he?
retrieve that key.
That's a key that he get, like a
Yes.
skeleton key or something.
Yeah.
It's the key to the basement.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. See, you're gonna have to fill in the details for me. And
Yeah.
so it's trying to kind of play it up as he's the red herring of the because are they saying the original killer was never caught? Or like why is it saying
All
that
right.
Orville Ketchum could
So
be the killer? They're really trying to like
the two detectives think, or at least the male detective who also was a gaffer on the movie, uh, think that Orville Ketchum colluded with what was the guy's name in this? Horsewater or whatever, Horvat.
Hornswoggler.
Yeah, like
no idea.
they
It's
they
not
turned the driller killer.
Hostetler. It's like Hosketum or something.
Yeah, so that guy still after 5 years thinks Orville had something to do with it.
Okay.
Even though he can't remember his name.
Yeah, even though
He's like, oh, I thought that other guy had something to do with it. I can't remember his name, but he's like 300 pounds.
yeah,
That wasn't in the script. That was just him not actually remembering the character's name.
Yeah.
They just
Uh,
went with it.
so yeah, like that's the only kind of connective tissue is that Orville Ketchum was there. He watched a movie on VHS that happened to also take place next door, depending on what universe you're in.
Right. While he was eating raw meat.
Well, yes, why
Out of a
I
bowl.
forgot about that till I saw it,
That
and I
stood
went,
out.
"Oh
That's-
my god!"
That as a kid stood out to me. I will always remember Orville Ketchum eating raw hamburger meat
Was
Yeah.
out of a bowl, like a popcorn bowl.
Yep.
Orville Ketchum supposed to be like Joe Spinell
That's what that's what
from
I thought.
Maniac or
Yeah, I
Is
thought
it Last Horror Show or Fanatic, whatever they want to
he
call
was
it?
in a bunch of shit.
But he just kind of had that same kind of energy, except even more bloated.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Like they could be
usually-
brothers
yeah,
the way they look. Yeah, for sure.
You
What-
could tell that that Wynorski was putting all his chips in on Orville Ketchum when he gets like the grand burb sounding music to the exit of his first scene. Like they like
Yep.
really like bring up the horns and the
yeah.
it's like do 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 do. Okay.
I like that the gals in their first they come to the house that they didn't have any didn't seem like they were prepared at all to move into a new house, which is
No.
exactly what they were doing. They're just like,
Yeah.
we have peanut
They-
butter and crackers.
In
Was there-
Falls City.
Mhm.
Oh, was it Falls City?
It looked like a Falls City label to me. I couldn't.
Oh,
I
shit.
meant to go back and try to get some close-ups, but I didn't have time after taking my post-movie nap. But yeah, I think that's Falls City that they're drinking in the scene where they're like, "This beer is gross." Yeah.
Well, it was
like
warm.
Jim Kaminsky. Yeah, it was warm. But they had good attitudes about it. They weren't like pissed that all they had was crackers and pop. They got real pumped that they had popcorn. I remember because I wrote
Yeah.
Yeah.
popcorn real big in all caps.
Yeah.
They were making the best of it.
I
You know?
do
Good
like
for them.
within 5 minutes of them moving in, they all democratically take turns just getting straight to nudity.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
they had
Like-
to
Yes.
change into their. Wait, I wrote it down. Their bed clothes,
Yeah.
Yes.
which
Which
is lingerie.
Sexy time step-ins.
And we got to see each one very deliberately changing.
It was like a
Yeah.
montage of them just like normally like you would have it like, oh, I'm going to advance the story by showing how they practiced and got good at their instruments and
Yeah.
and 6 months later they won the Battle of the Bands. This was more
Yeah.
like Jim Wynorski lovingly shooting nude like shower scenes. I still don't know what that woman changed for no reason in front of the fireplace. Robin,
Yeah. To use the Ouija board.
like just she's downstairs, she hasn't cleaned up. She just pulls off top,
Off it comes. It
and
I
I was
liked
just
the-
like, wow, okay. Jim Wynorski
It
can
was-
shoot a shower scene.
It was a
I-
good significant fraction of the runtime was watching them
I
change.
Yes.
didn't time it.
I
But
didn't
Between
either,
that and the strip club scene where nobody stripped, there was a lot of this movie was spent on those two scenes.
oh,
And
there was nudity at the strip club.
was there?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I was just taken out of it by the offensive sheiks
Oh yeah.
sitting in the corner, or
Yeah.
the WWF scrubs up front with
Mhm.
mullets and jean jackets.
I do remember
All of those guys were the guys that didn't get the role of Orville Ketchum. Those were the most amazing looking extras that you wouldn't want to have anything to do with. They probably all worked on the film, but they like Jim was just like randomly throwing darts when he picked who was going to be Orville Ketchum.
Wow.
I did remember from the strip club scene when the stripper shows her breasts and the Orville Ketchum knockoffs all were like shocked and surprised. They're like, what? Like literally like
Yeah.
falling
Yeah,
back in
they
their
literally
chairs.
did. It looked like they were on the Starship Enterprise. It just got
Yeah.
rocked by some photon torpedoes the way they start like throwing themselves around the room.
Did you also notice two famous people in the audience?
No.
I didn't screen grab this part, but I will for the sake of Blue Sky. But it looks for all the world that George Harrison, like Cloud9 George Harrison,
No.
is standing behind them at about 41 minutes and 50 seconds. And then at the bar at 44:30 is Ringo Starr.
So
Two of the Beatles.
half of the Beatles were in this movie. Is
I
what you're
mean,
putting
probably
out
not.
there.
But
Just out there having a larf.
if you watch this at about 12:30 at night on a Saturday, you'll see that and giggle like a school child because of reasons.
Well, big
Um,
fans of your work, Mr. Winorski.
I did love how like all of the ladies were scantily clad in that house by the time they get around to using the Ouija board, but the one dark-haired girl took it to like a whole other level where she was wearing like that see-through one
Oh
piece
yeah,
with the thong back. I'm like,
yeah.
holy shit. Like,
That's her sleepover
yeah,
clothes. That's what she brought to move into a new house where she knew she was going to be laying on a bedroll on a
right.
bare
so
floor.
so much big hair, big wigs. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
what's her face with the giant pyramid on her head? I think it was it
Was that Barbie?
It might have been Barbie. Who was the one with the dark hair?
That was the one with the sheer
Kimberly?
bodice. No. She's the one that dies first, I think.
Janie?
She had like pyramid head.
Yeah. It wasn't
Well,
her.
it was either
I
Kimberly or
actually
Janie if she wasn't blonde. 'Cause the other
Dana
three are blonde.
Bentley.
Yeah, that's Janie.
I think they almost like, you know how Venom was like what do they call symbiont to Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man put on the suit, the hair is just like some alien life form that crawled on top of her head.
Yeah. You throw glasses on her and she'd be Edna Head. So it was wild. Lot of choices that are made after you only had 6 days of prep on your new film.
They why was Orville
Wait,
set the it?
I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt.
Nope.
Last note about the strip club. Were the strippers dancing to the Uncle Buck soundtrack?
Yes.
If you
Undoubtedly
are listening to
I don't know,
this,
but yes.
if you're listening to this before you've watched the movie, it's around 5 minutes into the movie, 41 minutes into the movie. Just think that in the back of your mind. This sounds like Uncle Buck or the Great Outdoors music.
I don't remember the Uncle Buck soundtrack to be able to bring it to mind, but I'm assuming it has a lot of harmonica. It seems like a soundtrack that would have a lot of harmonica.
A lot of MIDI, random beeps and bloops, as I recall.
Oh, that seems
Much like this soundtrack.
brand.
Yeah.
That seems off brand for Uncle Buck. But yeah, why when towards the end when Orville's and lumbering around the house, just getting the shit, not getting stabbed multiple times, getting strangled, drowned in a toilet. Why at no point is he at least say like, "Hey guys, is everyone okay? Just here to check on you." Like he's just nonverbal the whole time. He's
He's
just
got raw meat stuck in his throat.
at no point does he like, Please stop. I'm not
I
here
mean,
to hurt you. I'm
that's
here
a
to help you."
question. A better question is again at the strip club or at the end of the strip club scene.
Oh, we're
The
still
detective-
back on the strip.
Well, the detective says during that scene, he's like, "I'd feel a lot better if I know what's going on over at that house." It's like, you're a fucking detective. Go over there.
Yeah.
The bridge was washed out. They couldn't get to it. I
What?
do remember.
I don't remember that.
There's the
The
scene where
bridge.
there's the scene
Where's
where
his house?
they're stuck. Remember, it's raining so hard, and they're like they can't pass.
Oh yeah, because of course they try to leave the house.
No,
Wynorski
I don't
sews
remember
up all the loopholes or
Yeah.
plot holes. They
The
run
bridge is
outside
washed
in their
Yeah.
lingerie to get wet in their lingerie
Yeah,
and go, we can't get out of it. It's raining too hard. And then they have to go back into the house.
yeah.
But
The
where
only
was there
other
a
person
bridge?
on this plot of land is Orville Ketchum. There's no other neighbors.
Yep.
The cul-de-sac on an island.
Jesus fuck.
He very strategically built his house, the only house in hundreds of acres, to
Listen,
be next to a
I want to
sorority
talk
house.
about more about the strip club scenes. Satana McVixen. Did you see her tiny blue microkini? Let's talk some more.
Well, we can.
I also want to talk about how many walking up stair shots there are in
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah.
And
A
that
lot
might
of
be
that.
why it's not been
Leering.
released on Blu-ray or 4K.
A lot of leering shots upstairs.
A lot of lingering, leering shots of buttholes.
Yeah. These two directors we have today are fucking creeps. I'm just gonna say that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Battle of the creeps.
Uh,
But we'll talk more about this one and the bowling one, whatever it's called, on the other side of this break.
need myself another peach tea.
There you go.
Billy and I mean, hey, you don't have an exclusive on Billy. He does what he wants.
One.
I thought you were my friend.
So yeah, go on about the strip club.
No, I think that was the last note I had was Satana McVixen.
I guess to move on to the strip club would be to just get to the end of the movie, right? Because I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
there was a
it's-
lot of content after that.
That
We
final,
covered that.
that final fight is no torso. I'll give it that much.
No.
No.
It's hard to compare to that Star Trek fight scene. This was more like a Lassie fight scene.
Yeah, when Whiskey is not a good director of fisticuffs.
Yeah, Orville Ketchum
No.
and who was the final girl? Gail Thackeray. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was not good.
Now hold on. Don't
Was it-
besmirch Wynorski's fist fighting chops when he gave us the
I knew you were gonna
Rules
say it.
for-
Bonzo.
Graves versus Mancuso fight.
Oh yeah, well, I think he had more time and money to stage that fight.
I'm gonna bet that old Peter Leopis just choreographed his own fight.
Yeah. On the
He
spot.
actually just showed up on set drunk and told Mancuso to beat the hell out of him.
Melissa Moore as Jessica, who plays the possessed girl, who gets possessed by the ghost of the killer from the first one. She really, really puts on a performance once she gets
Wait,
possessed.
asterisks. The first one that is sorority
House.
slumber party
Slumber.
massacre.
The
Party
first
Massacre.
driller killer
She
one.
Yes.
she becomes possessed by the first driller killer.
Which, to go back to that, is also confusing because the actual driller killer sequel, Slumber Party Massacre 2, is also a different killer
Yep.
Then
from the first one.
I don't know where if you
None
guys
of
What
noticed.
happened? What happened at the events during the events of Sorority House Massacre I, guys.
There's
I-
only one way to find out.
I've seen it on Joe Bob. I don't remember anything about it except it was directed by a woman. Was that
No,
Cindy
that's
Ford?
that's
That's
Slumber
Party
one.
Massacre. You're
Yeah.
conflating them again.
That's
Oh,
the original.
no.
That's the original Driller Killer. It was written by like
All right.
a feminist, a famous.
Yeah.
Why can't I think of her name?
Carol
Just-
Frank did Sorority House Massacre. Slumber Party Massacre is. Well, no, wait. She worked as crew on Slumber Party Massacre.
Gotta get it.
Slumber Party
Rita
Massacre.
Mae Brown wrote. She's a famous feminist author, and then
Yeah, but
Amy
Slumber
Holden
Party
Jones
Massacre-
directed it.
Oh my god.
So that one was like an all-lady crew helming that one.
So wait,
So
who the
you
fuck
get
is
feminists that
Carol
direct
Ford?
the first story, and they're like, "Who should we get to direct the sequel?" Jim Wynorski.
Fucking creep.
He said he never watched the first one. He didn't know anything
Oh, I
about
couldn't
it.
imagine.
And then Roger
I don't think
Corman
he's
is the
ever watched a
one-
movie.
Roger
I don't
Corman is
think
the
he's
one
ever
that,
watched his own movies.
that put Slumber Party Massacre in to pad out the movie.
I just had to Google because I don't even know what Jim Wynorski looks like until I just now Googled him, and I wish I never saw what he looked like. He looks exactly like you would think a man that makes these movies would look like.
He looks like
Fucking
a
disgusting.
melted candle with flapjacks for hair.
Does he look like the announcer in the strip club in this scene? Or in this movie? Remember
maybe
that creepo?
I can't remember what that guy looked like, but
Oh,
probably.
All right. Carol Frank directed Sorority. Fuck, I don't care.
No,
Carol Frank wrote and
What?
directs Sorority House Massacre. Okay.
We'll have a-
we joke about this movie, but I'd had a good time watching it. More so than Wynorski's. I know I talk trash on him during
Ghoulies 4.
the Gruely saga, but I think I figured out why a movie like this is more enjoyable than Gruely's 4, or even the movie that we're about to talk about. It's bad. Like everything in this movie is terrible, but it's done without the wink to camera. Oh god.
Oh, that's not even the worst photo.
It looks like
There you go. Jared is now going through slowly
Oh wow,
all
there's
the-
Jim Wynorski and Charles Band.
all the
Oh,
photos
Lord.
on IMDb of
Oh,
Jim.
look at this fucking guy.
Look how he got
Ugh.
younger. That's obviously during COVID. Now go back to like 1989 and he looks like he's 80 years old. Nope.
that looks like
Keep going.
Harrison Ford after getting punched in the face by a
Ugh, God.
professional boxer.
I can't look at this man anymore. How do I stop sharing? Stop.
Look
Okay.
how high those khakis were.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Sorry.
as I was saying, the difference between these bad movies and what makes them enjoyable to me is there's no like blatant wink to camera in this, and so somehow that makes it more enjoyable to when like the movie we're about to have to talk about again is like everything is purposely done as like, oh, look how funny we're being.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, and that makes it obscenely
Well,
stupid in my eyes.
I don't mind a wink to camera if it's done right or properly.
Correct, but they're not.
With-
Not
to
in-
Josh's
not in
point.
this- Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know. Should we just be done with this?
I
but
got
no.
nothing. I got no notes left.
I do have a tying thread amongst the many that I'd like to discuss before
Oh, we didn't even
move
talk
on.
about Jim Kaminsky.
Whoever the fuck
Well,
Jim
go,
Kaminsky
go
was.
for it. Don't let me rush you along.
I know. I love how like throughout the movie, I didn't even write them all down, but throughout the movie that they're talking about, as we mentioned earlier, every man in their lives by their full names: Jim Kaminsky, Kenny Gardner. I didn't catch Billy's last name, but Billy's the guy that Pyramid Head is sleeping
Mm.
with, and then the
Fucking Billy.
the other girl with the weird accent that's neither European nor American.
Linda is from England.
Well, was she trying to cover up her English accent? Because
I
it
think
sounded
sh-
like she was either trying to have
she was
one or
trying to
cover it
be
up and not doing either
Australian.
very well.
I think that's what you call bad acting, where the accent clearly was coming and going.
It made her sound more like she had a speech problem than anything else. I don't know
Yeah.
what was going on with her voice, but it was
Well,
distracting.
thank you for this mention, because this is a good segue to my thread of, do you think this person looks like this person? I am going to share the screen because I have a presentation. Okay. Let's start the slideshow from beginning. Hello. How are you guys?
Hi.
Hello.
All right. So the first one up,
Are we putting this up on Blue Sky?
Sam Neill and Linda are the same person.
I don't see it.
Nah.
Look
Nah.
at this right here. The
She doesn't
brow
have.
and the
Nah.
nose.
That's a
Nah.
reach. That's
I
a
don't see
reach.
it. Not seeing it.
All right. Well,
Of course, I'm not looking at the face.
Yeah.
True. I'm looking at Sam Neill's breasts.
All right. Then the next one is two people.
Also, the way that you put those pictures together, it looks like she's coming around the corner with a flashlight. She's about to run
Yeah,
into a
it does.
giant Sam Neill on the other side of the wall.
Well, again, if we highlight the facial structure here, this is one for one the same person. The next one up is not a stretch. I have a witness who agreed to that. Yes, this is the same person and can never see them as anyone else. It is Leanna Quigley and John Carpenter. If you put a mustache on Leanna Quigley, she looks 1-to-1 like John Carpenter. And I can't stop seeing it.
I see that.
I
I
probably
even-
would have used body bag John Carpenter.
Gave you this example.
Is that his actual mustache that you
No,
photoshopped?
that is a Photoshop mustache on Quigley. And yeah, I will make sure that you have copies for Blue Sky for all of this.
For the people.
For the people. Yeah, that shot of her at the very beginning and where this is from, where she's got like that gray, blue, white stuff around her eyes for makeup.
Yeah.
It reminded me of body bags. And then
I wish you would have taken
went,
a comparison shot with body bags John Carpenter.
Oh, well, I can.
That would have been much better.
Whip one up for Blue Sky.
I will do that. But yeah, Leanna Quigley this time around in Slimeball Bowl-O-Rama was ruined. I kept seeing John Carpenter without a mustache.
Linnea Quigley will for always be trash in my heart. And that and
she's trash, all right.
For the listeners,
Josh
I mean,
is not a fan.
I know Josh's joke, but for the listeners, I want them to know she played a character named Trash in Return of the Living Dead. I was not calling her trash. She's forever in my heart for being trash. Should we move on?
Yeah.
Oh wait, actually, real quick, I want to say, I was thinking about this, and I think there is some humor and wink to camera in this, but it only comes in the very end when in the form of Orville Ketchum getting what would kill a normal human at least 5 times over. He gets shot like 6 times. He gets strangled with a chain. He gets drowned in a toilet. He gets stabbed a bunch of times. And then like that's when the wink to cameras come in of like, he's still alive. And then it ends on him like being interviewed outside of the hospital for the news.
Yep.
And then you get the whole like Orville Ketchum as Orville Ketchum kind of thing. And so like
it's a good gag
out of nowhere. Like it's very earnest and
you gotta start somewhere.
Serious movie, and then out of nowhere it's like we're gonna make Orville Ketchum a joke.
It's a good gag.
It didn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make it. Nothing makes any fucking sense in this movie.
Like all of a sudden he becomes the monkey. Like
in the first 5
the
minutes
last
of
10
the
minutes of
movie,
this movie are the monkey. It makes no fucking sense.
Well, in the first 5 minutes, they all arrive at the house together as a group, dropped off by one of their boyfriends, and then in the very next scene, 2 of the girls are outside, and one of them asks the other if she found the place okay. Nothing in this movie makes any fucking sense.
That's just bad writing. Speaking of bad writing, you guys want to play a game?
Yeah, I want to
Sure.
play a game.
This game is called Which Came First, but which is spelled WITCH.
Oh yes.
Which came first, but which is spelled WITCH is the full
Is
name.
that the full name?
That's
of
the full name of the game. If I were to box
Trademark,
this up and sell it
copyright.
and copyright it, that'd be the name of the game. I'm going to give you, just as these movies are in their own weird universe, tangentially connected or otherwise, I'm going to give you a list of 3 movies that are same connected somehow. There's some through line through them.
Okay.
You will tell me the order in which they were released by year.
Okay.
You both get to answer. If
Do we
you're
have to
both
tell you
right,
the
you
year?
point. No, you can.
Okay.
How about if you tell me the year for each one, you get a bonus point.
Okay.
But that's not really part of the rules for which came first and which is
Okay.
spelled
Then forget it. Then
WITCH.
forget it.
All right. The first group is Critters, Gremlins, Ghoulies. What order
Gremlin.
did those come in?
Are we taking
gonna-
turns?
You can both answer. Yeah.
All right.
And then,
What? So we both answer?
yeah.
So
and
we
if you're
both get a
if you're
point?
both right, you get a point. If you're both
Well, you can
wrong.
just copy off me when I give you the right answer.
All right, fine. Who
I don't
wants
want
to
to
go
show
first?
my work.
But
I'll go first. I already said Gremlins, so I'm gonna go out with Gremlins,
mhm.
then Ghoulies, and then Critters.
Josh, do you want to answer?
Can I just say whether I agree or disagree? Or do I have to?
You'd
put
have
a
to
different-
give your order, and if you're
Okay.
wrong, you're wrong.
I'd say that Critters. Yeah, I would say that Aaron is right. That is the order. It's Gremlins, Ghoulies, Critters.
Okay, so I was going to give you each a point, but I guess Aaron just gets a point
Yeah, that's fine.
if we're playing that way.
That's fine.
All right, so the next one will go to Josh.
Okay.
Was that right?
Yes, that was correct.
Yeah,
Ah,
because
okay.
Charles Band was trying like hell to get Ghoulies out because he knew about Gremlins, and then Warner Brothers sued him long enough to delay the movie coming out.
That's hilarious. I didn't know that. The next one, The Howling, Teen Wolf, and Monster Squad. Wolfman's Got Nards.
Josh, it's my turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I almost had to, I gotta say my name to go buzzing first. Howling came first. Teen Wolf second. Monster Squad third.
Correct.
You didn't give Aaron a chance.
Yeah.
Well, because we're not doing it that way.
Oh,
Oh.
what?
Okay.
Okay.
I was going to, and you guys said not
There's
to.
no circle takes the square if he gets
Well,
it right.
Yeah.
No, that's Hollywood Scares.
Oh God.
This is which came first and which is spelled WITCH.
So there's no stealing.
Do you want to go? Go. Do you know he's right? All right, you both have it. Would you have said that in all honesty? Howling, Teen Wolf, Monster Squad.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to do it this way, or do you
So
want to
give
just?
Josh 2 points and give me 2 points.
That's what I'm doing.
No,
but do you
that's
wanna-
fine. Just
Do you want to keep going this way, or do you
Yeah.
want to? Okay.
Yeah, I like because this gives the tension
about-
to the other person whether or not they
Okay.
believe the person is
yeah.
correct.
And how
And-
about
It gives
You-
me a chance to upset Josh and
Yeah.
do it on wrong, and then he agrees with me and he loses a point. If
True.
I am
and
up,
and we'll just
no,
alternate.
I don't. But you don't get a point either.
that's
But
right.
then when I answer, it also does give you the extra time to get your little fingers clicking on the keyboard
Right
to
here.
look it up.
Hands up.
Here,
Hands up.
up.
All right, so we'll just alternate who gets the first chance to order them.
My hands, listener, are up to my mouth like I'm on the spelling bee.
All right, we now have Madman.
Or smell them.
All right, third group. Madman,
So
Mad
me.
Max. That you get to go first this time.
Okay.
All right.
Madman, Mad Max, or Willow featuring Mad Mardigan.
Oh God. All right.
I wish that was the name of Willow. Willow featuring Mad Mardigan. Look at his hands disappearing.
Oh, he's clicking.
Mad Mad Max and Man Mars or Madman are hard because you always go
This
if
is-
you're of a certain age. All right, I remember Road Warrior, but there was also Mad Max. So
Yep.
which one was the early one? And I feel like the Road Warrior was the first one in the 70s, and then Mad Max was like 81 or 82, which is also Madman 81 or 82.
Now, see, you're helping Josh by talking your logic.
I know, but I'm just going to say Mad Man, Mad Max, Willow.
Featuring Mad Mardigan. I
Featuring
will. All right, Josh, you get a chance. So you went
I'm gonna
Mad Man,
say-
Mad Max, Mad Mardigan.
Yeah, Mad Max.
Man Max Mard. Yeah.
Man Max Mardigan.
You're
That's
agreeing
my
with that
order
one?
too. Yep, Man
You're
Max
both
Mardigan.
incorrect. It
I
was
knew
Max
it.
Max Man Mardigan. Mad Max was 1979. Mad Man was 1981. Mad Mardigan was 88. I guess I should also say Howling was 81. Teen Wolf was 85. Monster Squad was 87. Gremlins 84. Ghoulies 85. Critters 86. So those were really piggybacking on the young.
That was the easiest one.
Yeah. Now we have Josh, you get to go first.
Okay.
RoboCop, Terminator, Short Circuit with
Oh,
Johnny
wow.
5.
Ooh. We're gonna go right in that order, I think. RoboCop, Terminator, Short Circuit.
Okay, Aaron.
Disagree. It goes Terminator, RoboCop, Short Circuit.
You're both wrong.
No, I know
Oh,
RoboCop's the last
no.
one.
It goes Terminator 84, Johnny 5, Short Circuit 86.
Oh
RoboCop
wait, I was
87.
thinking of I was thinking of the Needs Battery movie. Not Johnny Five.
Battery's
Oh,
not.
battery's not
Needs
included.
battery.
So
I
no
used
one
to
got
have
a
a
point.
beautiful brain.
Beautiful Blaine. It's still 2-2 as we move on. And which came first?
I was
which is
saying it with my
WITCH.
chest because I knew it.
Man, I had no idea this game would be this tumultuous. All
Johnny
right.
Five.
I love it.
Number 5. Who's going? Josh going first this one?
Yeah, it's me.
Sleepaway Camp.
No, wait, I'm first this time.
Oh, yep. Sorry, it is him first.
Yeah.
Okay. Sleepaway Camp.
Okay.
Cheerleader Camp. Cheerleader Massacre.
Exactly how you said it is the release.
Yep, Sleepaway Camp.
Cheerleader Camp.
No.
Sleepaway Camp with Felissa. Cheerleader Camp with what's his face?
Leaf Garrett.
Leaf Garrett.
I'm gonna flip the tail to say cheerleader. No, I'm gonna say Sleepaway Camp. Cheerleader Camp. No. Fuck. Same again?
My order or the
No,
order I
your
gave
order,
you or
yes,
Aaron's
the
order?
original order.
The
That would
order
be
I
the
gave
same
you
order.
was Sleepaway Camp, Cheerleader Camp, Cheerleader Massacre.
Flip Cheerleader Massacre and Cheerleader Camp.
So you're going Cheerleader Camp, Sleepaway Camp, Cheerleader Massacre.
No, Sleepaway, Cheerleader Massacre, Cheerleader Camp.
Okay. Aaron was correct.
Fuck! All that for
Sleepaway-
nothing.
Sleepaway Camp 83, Cheerleader Camp 86, Cheerleader Massacre 2003.
Woo.
Another
fairly
Wynorski flick
recent.
waiting for us.
So Aaron's up 3-2. We got 3 left.
All right.
Slumber Party Massacre, Sorority House Massacre, House on Sorority Row.
This is me first.
Yeah.
All right.
Slumber Party Massacre, Sorority House Massacre, House on Sorority Row.
Okay. We're going House on Sorority Row first. We're going Slumber Party Massacre, Sorority House Massacre. That order.
Okay.
I will agree with that order. House was the second, or House was the last one.
Josh said
Yes.
House and Sorority Row, Slumber Party Massacre, uh,
Sorority House
Sorority
Massacre.
House Massacre.
Yeah, yeah.
This is so confusing. And you're agreeing.
Yes.
You're both incorrect.
Oh, House is second.
It goes
I even asked that. He said House second. Oh,
Slumber Party Massacre 82, House on Sorority Row 83, Sorority House Massacre 86.
Whoa! The original Massacre predated House on Sorority Row?
Yep,
really?
but this is
Damn.
the release date at least.
God,
Oh,
Sorority
wow.
Row looks like it was filmed in like late 70s.
Yes. And then immediately drug through the mud pit
That
after
had
it
to have
filmed.
sat on the shelf for a year or two.
Okay. So
God.
3-2, Aaron is up by 1. Now we have this one's a little bit different because we're gonna go The Mist, but the Stephen King short story. The
Wait.
Fog,
Wait, the short story or the movie?
the novella, not the movie.
Okay.
The Mist, short story. The Fog, or Purple Rain.
Oh,
All
wow.
right. Oh.
What do these have in common?
Weather.
Oh, fuck you.
Let's do Fog.
Crazy prick.
I could not find another like mist or fog or type thing, and that so,
Let's do Fog,
Oh,
Purple
man.
Rain, The Mist.
Fog, Purple Rain, Mist. You're going
Yeah.
okay, Josh.
Mm, I'm not even exactly sure when Purple Rain came out, and that's a big problem. But I think it would be the Fog, Mist, Purple Rain.
Josh is correct.
Mm.
The Fog was published February 1980. The Mist came out, or I'm sorry, The Fog came out February 1980. The Mist was published August 1980. Purple Rain 1986. So it's 3-3
Mm.
into the last round. Stephen King's It, the TV movie with
Mm-hmm.
Tim Curry,
Mm-hmm.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space, or noted kid fucker Victor Salva's Clown House.
All right, so this is me.
Yes.
All right.
Man.
All right.
I should say convicted kid fucker Victor Salva's
Convicted.
Clown House.
So we have Clown House, Killer Clowns, and what's the other one?
It TV movie,
It TV movie.
the miniseries.
Admitted and convicted.
Yes.
Let's do Clown House. Clown House, Killer Clowns, It.
Josh, what do you think
Mm,
for the win?
Clown House. Killer Clowns It.
So you're both saying that.
Yeah.
Wait.
You're...
No.
Oh, he got it. He got a hint. I'm not counting that.
No, I didn't. I just I said it wrong. That's okay. I meant to say it the other way, but don't give me the point for it. I meant
What were you going to say?
Clown House, It, Killer Clowns, but I didn't say it that way. So if that's the right way, don't give me the point.
I don't think that's the right way.
Both would have been wrong.
Yeah.
Oh,
Killer Clowns 88, Clown House 89, It 90.
Yeah, I couldn't remember Clown House if it was
again.
before or after.
Wow.
We have a tiebreaker.
Oh, thank goodness.
All right.
Here's the tiebreaker. The year that Donnie Darko is set in Dark Man or Gruely Dark? Which of these? What
Oh.
order?
Wait.
Uh,
All right.
The year that Donnie
it's
Darko
Josh's.
is set in.
It's Josh's.
Dark
Uh-huh.
Man or Gruely Dark
Donnie
for the
Darko is
tiebreak.
set in the 80s because of course it is. Um oh Jesus, this is a hard one.
I was.
Gruely Dark. Jesus Christ. Gruely Dark. Uh Donnie Darko, Dark Man.
You're going Gruely Dark, Donnie Darko, Dark Man.
No, I take that back.
Uh,
Donnie Darko, Dark Man, Gruely Dark.
it's sad
I
that a
think.
movie we watched for 6 weeks should have it memorized what year it came out. Um, I remember the joke about Jurassic Park coming out the same year, which is one for one, not the same movie. But I haven't seen Donnie Darko for 20 some years.
Ah, hell.
And Dark Man with Liam Neeson's is the last one. All right, so I'm gonna go Patrick Swayze's and Dark Man or Dark Go playing a priest or feel good guy. So
He
is
plays
that
he plays a noted kid fucker in it.
He plays a noted kid fucker.
then Dark Man was at 92.
In a outstanding performance.
Yeah, he's great.
Was Dark Man 92, 93, 94, and 95? I think Dark Man, and I haven't bought the 4K yet. It's on my wish list. All right. Donnie Darko, number 1. Number 2, Gruely Dark. Number 3, Dark Man. Is that what Josh said?
I forgot Josh's order. You went Donnie Darko, Gruely Dark, Dark Man. I think Josh went Donnie Darko, Dark Man, Gruely Dark.
Yep.
Josh is correct.
Damn.
Donnie Darko took place in 1988. Dark Man came out in 1990, and we were blessed with Gruely Dark in 1994.
God,
Listen,
I
this
thought
is where
Dark Man was
this-
older or younger than that.
my
No.
thought process was I was trying to remember the time period where I was in school and saw Jurassic Park versus the time period when I was in school reading comic books and would see Dark Man
Dark Man.
advertisements on the back page.
Every other comic book. It's all
Oh my
Dark
God,
Man.
yeah.
I just watched Dark Man not too long ago. It's so fucking good.
It's a great movie.
So
I wish we
good.
could watch it.
Nope, but we have to watch Slimeball Bolorama. Sorority Babes and the Slimeball Bolorama for the second time. What were you guys' thoughts getting into this? I just watched it. Literally, the credits were rolling as we got on here to record. So this one's fresh in my mind, unlike the last one.
Felt a Delta gave me a
Felt a
sensible
Delta.
chuckle. I don't remember it from the last time, but when I heard Felt a Delta, I went hee 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 hee.
I enjoyed this more the second time, and maybe it was because I was running a pretty high temperature when I watched this and shitting
first
my
time?
brains out the first time. So like I watched this today. I was like, oh, this is like a whole new movie. I don't remember any of this. I had a decent time with it.
Well,
Not
I'm glad
great
you
by
did.
any means. I remember you guys talking about the opening song last time, and I couldn't remember it. That opening song rules.
Yeah.
It is a ripper. It's like a generic
You-
16-bit video game side scroller. And you're
Yeah.
just shooting.
It made me think of the music from the like 8-bit version of the Cyndi Lauper Goonies song that they play during the Goonies Nintendo
Yeah.
game over and
Yeah.
over. It made me think of
Yeah.
that. Gave me a warm, fuzzy feeling.
It is one of the noted. I did write down for brevity's sake what I enjoyed about this movie and what I didn't.
Brevity's fine right now.
So
I'm all about it.
The things I like about this movie, the opening theme and Linnea Quigley's pants.
Her pants, which she's I've seen where she's trying to wrench open the pinball machine with her what
Crowbar.
crowbar.
Uh,
It's
And
fucking-
in the coin slot.
Yeah, which is
Over and
hilarious because
over and
A,
over.
it's like she's so useless at trying to do it. She's basically
Yeah.
just like banging around on it. And then
Yeah.
B, like, where was she gonna put any quarters that she got from? She's wearing
the tightest pants ever
with
made.
no pockets, like leather
No.
fucking pants with no pockets and a vest.
Was she gonna trap them between the red and the black layers? Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well,
She
there
didn't
were
have a-
holes. That's the problem.
I don't think she really planned out her strategy very well and what she was going to do with this.
She was just in it for the thrill.
I laughed my ass off watching her try to break into that pinball machine.
Uh,
They clearly were like, do not damage this machine because we can't pay for it out of the budget. But just try to make it look like you're trying to crack it open.
just tap on the coin return. Things that I didn't like about this movie. Everything else.
Uh,
Case
Oh,
closed.
we have to clear up from last week. In the establishing shot of the sorority house, there are indeed two stories. So
Oh.
I am corrected.
oh,
from what-
did I say that there wasn't, or was there
I think
discrepancy there?
yeah, I said
don't-
it was a ranch, and you said
Oh
two
yeah.
story.
Oh, okay.
Then
And there's-
there
It
are
looks like a ranch house from inside. I bet the
Yeah.
interior was a ranch house.
had to be two separate places. And
Yeah.
then there
It was
were
the casting
indeed
office.
extras at the sorority house.
No.
Was there?
Yeah, because we had that joke that it was just Babs, the two other girls, and then
On
Tassie
the second
and
viewing, I
Lisa.
saw no extra girls.
No, they're only there. They walk in hooded. There's like 4 to 6 other people, and they immediately walk off camera. And I
Oh.
swear, 3 of them are the guys just that are like
Probably.
Calvin and the other 2 guys.
Calvin
are
and
also
Jimmy
hooded.
and Calvin and
It's-
Jimmy and
You're
Keith.
probably right.
Keith.
It's
But
either
you-
them or it's craft services.
You see 4 or 6 other people walk in, and then they just disappear off camera on the right side.
I was gonna
Jesus.
make some tasteless comments about Babs, but then I Googled her to see how old she was when this was made, and she killed herself not long after this movie came out. So,
Oh man.
yeah, real dark, tragic story with
Well,
to Babs.
the darkest part is that this is the last thing she committed to film.
Yeah, and I think she was in a couple more things after this, but not much
Oh.
longer after this came out. So.
Well, that aside, and my heart goes out to the poor woman and her troubles. She fucking was terrible.
I mean, they're all everybody's bad in this across the board for sure.
She's still just every time she spoke, I just pictured Sex in the City.
Yeah.
What?
In my head, I
not.
just heard yabba dabba Dubai.
She is real good when she turns into the demon substitute demon,
the S&M.
and she gets the Elvira
Dominatrix.
white wig. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still wanna join the sorority.
Yeah.
Lisa.
Still wanna join the sorority, Lisa.
Oh, that
Robin.
I do have a
Still is
note.
her name, I should say, not just calling her Babs. Sorry, I just,
Rest in
just wanted to
peace,
say her
Robin.
name. Okay, go
Robin
on.
Still. I was gonna say I did make a note when she comes back as like S&M with that blonde hair.
Yeah.
Linnea Quigley and her have a battle of the Bowie wigs where they're like
Yeah.
they have their fight scene and they just both have like different ratty versions of David Bowie's hair from Labyrinth and they're squaring off. I was like, that's fucking awesome.
The when the imp gets introduced, I timestamped this. He first comes out at 29:19, so you're almost a half hour into an hour and 19-minute long movie.
Okay.
He comes out, and then at 37:25, so over 8 minutes, this movie is just a close-up shot of people staring at this imp while he talks.
Yes.
There's a
That
couple
wasn't on
intercuts.
set.
There's
Yeah.
a couple intercuts that go to Buck Flower in his little closet. Other than that, and those maybe last like 2 seconds each. Other than that, a good portion of this movie is just people staring at this imp with no react. The imp's like, "Oh, you look so surprised," and they couldn't be. It looks like they might as well be looking at like a fucking bologna sandwich.
Yeah.
So, a talking imp just came out of nowhere, and they're just
Yeah.
like, no reaction.
Taffy's smiling like the
Yeah.
camera's not
Yeah.
even rolling.
Like at no point did David Dakotu say, "Hey, can you guys try to look scared? Like look like you've ever been scared or surprised in your life." Like that's 8 minutes of this movie.
They
Yeah.
never saw the actual imp puppet.
No, no. They
Like,
had
no, they
idea.
really never did that. Like all those shots, they didn't even know what they were looking at.
That's amazing.
If only they could have.
Yeah.
I bet we would have got some genuine scared reaction shots.
Hey, when we come back, I have a mini game to play.
Okay.
Oh, more games.
Double games. All right.
Well,
yeah,
it's just a mini game.
All right. Well,
All
we'll do
right.
that after. Right quick.
Right, Chris?
Baby.
Don't go to work, baby.
Oh man.
No way, guys. The last time I had tequila, I ended up doing a striptease show for Jim Kaminsky in the men's locker room.
Jim Kaminsky. Oh, he's a dog. Kimberly, you didn't do Jim Kaminsky, did you?
Okay.
Here
Yeah.
we are.
Yep.
So this is not too involved like Jared's games. This is just the old schoolyard classic that I always joke and fuck up and call Murder, Death, Kill. But in this case,
Okay.
I do want to do Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Okay.
Mm.
FMK, Josh and Jared, the
Are we
sexual deviant, the fat kid, or Calvin the nerd?
Oh,
Well, clearly,
Because last time you asked about the ladies of the movie, so I figured equal rights
Sure.
being needed.
sure.
Fuck, Marry, Kill.
well, I'd kill the fat kid. Jimmy.
I think it's Jimmy.
Also, by the way, how rough would it be to take that role where you read the script and every other line is just about what a fat shit you are? Like everybody in this movie, even the imp is called him like Porky and. But anyway, but he is annoying. Not
Just
not
like
body
Boris.
shaming. He's just fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I'd probably. Well, no, I'd fuck. Well, Keith's the one that doesn't know how to fuck because he has that hot blonde 80s chick
Mm-hmm.
all over him, and
Yeah.
Biting his undies.
clearly his dick doesn't work or something, so
Sucking on his socks.
can't fuck him. So I guess I'd marry him by default, and then I'd have to fuck the one beer loser that has to
Nah.
puke his guts out after. That'd be, I guess, by default process of elimination. That would be mine.
All right.
I'm a little different. So I would kill the nerd that gets drunk off one beer because after being around him acting like that for 5 minutes, that would be my only option. I would fuck the guy that doesn't know how to fuck because somebody's got to teach him the ways.
Step in there,
And,
show him how to swing.
That's
you're gonna-
right.
So you're gonna marry fat
I'm
kid?
gonna marry the fat kid because he would share his Budweiser and potato chips with me.
Oh, there you go. No, you can't. You got to do it too. You're not.
Oh,
you don't
sadly-
skate. You're not skating free.
Josh had a lot of the same reasons that I was gonna say.
Wow.
Because Fat Kid was the only one that had food and beer, so you know his dad owns a dealership, so you're gonna marry the Fat Kid.
Yeah,
'cause
but
he's
he'd be
got
mean
money.
to you. He'd be mean to you the whole time.
No, doesn't matter. You're taken care of.
That's right.
He
You're
want to be
gonna- you're
he want to
gonna-
be a kept man in that marriage.
That's right. Calvin, worthless, fucking dead. And then, yeah, what's the other guy? Keith.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's doing, so at least it'll be quick.
Yeah.
Out of the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there you go. Well thought out
There you go.
points, everybody.
Thank you. I don't have a witty name for Murder, Death, Kill. That's all I guess I have.
I would have preferred we played Murder, Death, Kill with those three, but
I'm in that weird like liminal space of I have more notes, but I don't, should maybe save them because I don't know which way this could go.
I
Yeah.
do want to do. I timed something else from this movie, and I just want to get it done.
Oh, I love a good
Because
timestamp.
all
Give me
right,
some timestamps.
we talked about this, but we never timed it. The slapping of the paddle
I
scene.
timed it too, but I'm that's one of the things I was saving.
All right,
love it.
I want to get it out of the
love it.
way because
Yeah,
if you've never
baby.
seen this movie, you're like, you're watching it and you realize the special effect, sound effect's still going on, I should say, and you're like,
You forget what's happening.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, what is that? Oh, is she still getting? One of them is still getting slapped.
Still getting their wax.
All right, compare notes then. At timestamp 9 minutes 6 seconds, I have the first slap of the paddle.
Yep, I've got 9:05, but
Okay.
okay. Yep.
5:06. That's a good. The last sound effect of the paddle was at 11 minutes 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And that is 2 minutes and 4 seconds by my calculation of Lisa and Taffy getting their asses slapped by a paddle.
Yeah.
Oh man, Babs, you horny bitch.
I mean,
Yep.
Babs was. They shouldn't have been able to walk.
No. And then they
Ugh.
spray whipped cream on their shirts.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, so that would mean, let me do some math here. That's 8 minutes and 6 seconds plus 2 minutes and 5 seconds. So 10 minutes and 11 seconds of this movie is the slapping and people staring at an imp.
No, I mean, things are happening while the slapping is going on. It's just the fact that you don't necessarily see it, but you hear it for 2
Yeah.
minutes and 4 seconds.
God bless it.
I don't think the imp moves a single step in this movie.
No.
He's
No.
less mobile than Jack Frost.
That'd be a good wrestling match.
Other thing I want to talk about today.
They would just talk shit on each other back and forth across the ring because neither one of them would be able to move.
Well, wait, Jack Frost can shoot randomly can shoot frost out of him.
That's
true.
true.
He
And I
would
think he
win.
also has a missile carrot.
That's
But
true.
the imp could like
Depending on the size of the ring.
the imp could trick him and be like, I can make you wish yourself back to being a human.
No, use the voice.
And then I could make you be a human again, baby.
There we go.
Yeah,
And,
but I would argue that human Jack Frost is even more dangerous than snowman Jack Frost.
That's what I'm saying. So he'd go for it, but then his wish would then, he'd be tricked because then he'd be human for like 2 minutes and then the wish would backfire on him.
It would be
Like he'd die?
Post-wreck human form.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But like
He'd just be
yeah.
mangled beloved actor Scott McDonald.
Yep.
You know what? This is going to be a new game. So save this in my brain space.
Love it.
Don't know.
right.
I wanted to talk about something today because
Let's talk about it.
The whole reason we watched these two movies was because these two movies, for some reason, we ripped the hell out of when we made our own movies growing up.
Uh,
And when I was watching this last night, a synapse fired in my brain that says at least once, if not multiple times, the whole Buck Flowers getting murdered by opening the door and then him being dead in the background as the murderer opens the door and then chases the protagonist out the door. We did in our movies at least a shot for shot once, if not twice.
undoubtedly.
Like I can remember at least me one time, I think, being Buck
Yeah.
Flowers, and man,
Most of your roles were just Buck Flowers. Let's face it.
You
And
were the
then-
de facto flower.
You're like, throw on this flannel shirt and say some funny shit, and then
Okay.
you do it.
but like even like the zoom in with the camera or camcorder is
Yeah.
the same as what we did or what they did in the Dakota did in
Yes.
this movie.
Yeah.
Like we did that, right? Like I'm not just making
Right.
all right.
Yeah.
And then there was something in Sorority House Massacre II that I was like, I think we did this multiple times in
Yeah.
our movies.
And we
so
were
let that stew because
we were 12 years old.
yeah. So I was going to say let that stew for a second because In some cases, I probably had, or we probably had, just like saw that in the movie the night before and we're replicating it. And
Yeah.
in some cases, our brains were just firing on the same level as the adult men that made these movies when we were
Yeah.
like 14 years old.
That
Fucking-
whole Orville monologue, I feel like that was the energy that we put, yeah, to your point,
Yeah.
that we put in these movies. Like I watched it again last night and I'm sitting there, I was like, this whole Orville, and it's like 9 minutes into that movie. I'm like, this Orville Ketchum energy is all of our movies. And there's probably at least 3 movies that we did that, if you boil it down, is Sorority House Massacre 2 multiple
Yeah.
times. just
Only we
with-
didn't have any ladies at the time.
well, obviously we didn't.
We
So
didn't
that's
show as
why-
much flesh.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, we put the same energy and effort as was put into these. We just didn't have $40,000 to, we probably could have come up with something.
Buck Flowers looking up at the
similar.
knife to have the chance to have a line of dialogue. I saw that and I was like, we did that at least
Yeah.
twice.
If
Yep.
we had $40,000 and access to a cast, I was gonna say casting agent, but a casting couch.
Yes.
Let's be honest, what's going on in Jim Wynorski's alleged. I'm
Ugh.
uh, so I think we probably could have made something similar on par with this trash is that we've just subjected ourselves to. I was going to watch, because it had been so long, I was going to watch.
Can I
Sorority
interject
House.
something?
What?
I just realized who Jim Wynorski reminds me of.
If
It's
you're
a
gonna say-
it's a Bill Maher cloning experiment gone wrong.
Oh, what?
A Bill Maher
No.
cloning experiment gone wrong.
Yeah, he's a creep too. 2 creeps. Oh boy. But yeah, I was going to watch Sorority House Massacre 2 because it had been so long, just to refresh myself, and I couldn't do it. I was sitting here yesterday doing absolutely nothing. I was like, nope, can't do it. So bad. But we
Wow.
are going to have to watch one of these again. Should we
Yep.
figure out which one it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I
All
figured
right.
it out.
So for the listeners, on the count of 3, we are going to, or after the count of 3, we are going to say the loser, the movie that eats the buckle, that we will have to watch again next week. And that movie is 3, 2, 1.
Sorority babes in slime ball bowl-a-rama.
Unanimous this time. I don't think
All
we've had a
together.
unanimous one for a little while. So we're
I
all
think
on the same
Gruely's
page.
4 was pretty unanimous, wasn't it? Throughout.
Well, no,
Not for me.
not for
I-
Jared.
Not for me. I had Mousetrap beating it, and
Mousetrap.
I think I had something else beating it.
Mousetrap
Can't remember.
didn't beat it.
But we so Aaron, it's down to your last movie for the season, I guess. I don't know how we're calling seasons, or
I don't know.
But last movie of this batch is yours, and then we'll have 2.
All right.
I love
this
how
is-
we're taking a season break in the middle of a run to determine which.
Hey man,
Hey,
we're just
man.
playing it loose, man. We don't follow no rules, man.
We're just
I think-
hanging in the strip club with
Hey.
Harrison and Ringo Starr.
We
Man.
really did mess up our numbering though, because now that we have like interjected like random stuff, for
Mhm.
me it was real easy to remember what week we were on because it
Oh
was
shit!
published. And it was
Mm.
like, all right, next episode, like say 30, it would automatically say 30. This is going to be like episode 32 or 33. So
Oh,
I'm going to
right.
be like,
We're in the bananas for bonanza conundrum.
yeah, I'm going to have to start numbering them, keeping track myself
you-
instead
well,
of just.
The beauty is we could go like episode something round 30. Like a true episode would be considered a round. Like we're in round 30.
Well, tell
Round
that to
30.
the hosting site.
I will. Give me their numbers. I will call them.
Call the robots up that were helpless to help me.
Tell your
With a
unpaid
situation
intern to
this past
communicate
week.
with the robots.
So wait, what are we watching? What's your last movie from
All
your
right.
list?
So
That's
I had
6 months ago.
multiple movies written down on here.
That's not how this works.
I know.
Not how any of this works.
I X'd them out. There was one.
To be fair, I deviated for this week so that we could set right the.
I definitely did too.
The
We're gonna have to get some
multiverse.
shit straight before we go on to the next round. Anyway, go ahead.
I had 5 movies at one time listed for number 2, and I have scratched out 3 of them. And I'm gonna go ahead and say Waxwork.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ooh, okay.
All
right.
To Waxwork.
Out of those 5, I feel like I have never seen that movie unless we watched it once at your house growing up. And
It was put on a few times, yeah.
and I saw
Steak tartare.
I saw the poster again, and I think David Warner's in it, and I went, all right, sure, that seems like up our alley.
All right. fair.
I'm actually excited to see. I think there is a part in the Waxwork where someone eats raw beef.
There is.
Well,
So
Steak tartare. Oh
yes. So,
steak tartare.
so the
That's
thread
all I remember
continues.
from that movie.
all right.
I'm excited to watch that. Yeah. So looking forward to that.
Oh man.
I bet it's really great. And again, at least from my side, has no reason being on this podcast. I just wanted to watch it.
I
so,
appreciate those being interjected every once in a while because I can't handle
yeah.
garbage week after week. I'm
Well,
not built
I mean,
for
it just means you're very likely to watch Slime Bowl for a third time.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So next week we'll each have 3 new picks that we'll bring to the table to choose from randomly.
Okay.
Listeners, if you're out there, send us a message on bucklepod@gmail or Blue Sky, bucklepod Blue Sky. Let us know how you're doing out there.
Yep.
So other than that, save room for next week because you're gonna eat the buckle.
Bye, Buckle Buddies.
Bye-bye.
It's the old Hochstetter place.
But Hochstetter's dead.
Well, he is, but there was another guy, a neighbor. I couldn't pin anything on him at the time, but I'm sure he had something to do with those killings.
Who was it?
Don't remember his name.